Did Nero burn Rome? What if the most infamous fire in ancient history wasn't an accident? In 64 CE, flames tore through Rome for 9 days, leveling districts, reshaping the skyline, and forever staining one emperor's name. Did Nero, the boy ruler who became a legend of excess, set his own capital on fire? Or did history burn him instead? Nero became emperor at 17 in 54 CE. A decade later, in the heat of July, a blaze erupted near the Circus Maximus, the chariot stadium lined with shops crammed full of flammable goods. Winds drove the flames through the city. After 6 days, it was finally checked. Then it broke out again and burned for 3 more. By the end, 3 of Rome's 14 districts lay in ruins, and 7 more were badly damaged. Rome wasn't just wounded, it was remade. Where was Nero when it started? Not in Rome. Ancient accounts place him at Antium, a seaside retreat south of the city. He returned only when the flames threatened properties connected to the palace. To his enemies, that absence looked like convenient distance. To his supporters, it was simply bad timing, followed by a rapid response. Why would an emperor burn his own capital? Motive. In the aftermath, Nero unveiled a breathtaking vision. The Domus Aurea, the Golden House, a sprawling palace with grand halls, gardens, and even an artificial lake where the Colosseum would later stand. It projected power, taste, and near divinity. Would such a project have survived normal political opposition? Maybe not. With a city scraped clean by disaster, it suddenly became possible. Did Nero light the match, or did he seize an opportunity handed to him by fate? And what about the famous line that Nero fiddled while Rome burned? The image is unforgettable and wrong. The fiddle didn't exist in the 1st century. Nero did perform. He loved music and theater. But if he sang of the fall of Troy, the instrument would have been a lyre or a cithara. Some later writers relish the picture of a performer emperor watching the city burn and calling it art. Earlier sources treat it as rumor, not fact. The picture survived because it was vivid, not because it was true. When Nero returned, the record describes real relief efforts. He opened public buildings to refugees. He rushed grain into the city and cut its price. He organized emergency supplies from nearby ports. Then came ambitious rebuilding plans. Wider streets to act as fire breaks, limits on building height, separate walls instead of shared timber partitions, more fire-resistant materials, and better access to water and firefighting equipment. Out of catastrophe came the bones of safer urban planning. But relief did not extinguish suspicion. Whispers spread that the emperor himself had ordered the blaze. To stamp out the rumor, Nero named a culprit: the Christians, a small and unpopular sect in the city. Arrests followed. Executions followed. Some were put to death in ways meant to horrify. It's one of the earliest references to Christians in Rome, and it shows us something dark about Nero, whether he was guilty or not. If he was innocent, he was ruthless. If he was guilty, he was covering his tracks. So did Nero do it? Let's weigh the story people still tell against the evidence we still have. The case for arson starts with convenience. The fire cleared valuable land and gave Nero a blank canvas for his palace and his grand redesign. The stories of him performing during the disaster, embellished or not, made him look like a man who enjoyed the spectacle. And the second outbreak of fire during the crisis fueled suspicion that someone wanted more damage than the first inferno delivered. The case against arson starts with the city itself. Rome was a tinderbox, wooden apartment blocks, narrow lanes, crowded markets, and summer winds. A megafire was not just possible, it was likely. Our best early source places Nero away from the city when the blaze began and records relief measures when he returned. And crucially, that same source says the cause was uncertain, chance, or the emperor's guile. He leaves it open. That caution matters. So what's the verdict? Most modern historians lean toward accident. Not because Nero was a saint, he wasn't, but because there is no solid proof he ordered the fire, and because the physical reality of Rome in 64 makes disaster tragically easy to explain. Why then does the myth endure? Because it fits the character generations wanted to see, the performer tyrant who watched his empire burn and called it art, the ruler who built a palace over ruins, the man who found a scapegoat when rumors rose. Images outlast facts. A violin that didn't exist became the symbol of an emperor who did. Did Nero burn Rome? Arsonist or victim of a perfect firestorm? You decide. Tell me your verdict in the comments. For the deeper story of the Golden House and Nero's fall, watch the next video and subscribe to Historical Conspiracies, where the past is never settled.